Folks, these condo owners have double the problems. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for condos across the GTA for week ending January the 15th, 2025. We spent a lot of time this weekend with condo buyers looking at buildings and apartments, and I just want to talk to you about a certain experience that we have that we see all too often. Now, keep in mind that if you're working with a condo buyer, any kind of buyer, regular home buyer, it could be detached market, they got their set of parameters. So they're not looking at one type of home and then something totally different. So in this case, we're not looking, the condo buyer is not, we're not showing him a one bedroom and then the same buyer showing him a 3-bedroom unit at 1,500 square feet, where if they're looking at 1 and 2 bedrooms, we're looking at 1 and 2 bedrooms. The next one is going to be very similar in size, in layout, in price point. Like, they're going to be very similar. So this weekend, we're going into buildings and we're looking at newer buildings. They're basically brand new, just closed, up to about 2 years. So they're newer buildings. And we go into one building. The foyer, elevator, hallway leading up to the apartment, there's nothing really special. The quality just isn't there. That was the best way for me to describe it. Just the quality of materials used. You didn't have to be, some renovation expert to understand the quality of stuff. It just didn't feel good. My clients were saying it as we're walking through the foyer, elevator, hallway. We get to the unit itself, and that theme of lack of quality is carried through the unit. Now, in much older buildings, it's easy to say, well, the homeowner used, subpar materials and bad craftsmanship to renovate the unit. None of these units are renovated. This is all builder stuff that's in these units because they're all fairly new still. So you're looking through the unit, not that impressive. Although the size may be what my client's looking for, the layout may be okay, but the quality of the way it's all put together just isn't there. We go across the street. Now, there's lots of neighborhoods that have clusters of condo buildings. This happens to be one of those. So right across the street, sometimes right beside that building, we go and look at another unit that's for sale. Similar size, similar layout, not so much similar price point, but we're having a look. And it's like, as soon as you walk in, it's like, wow, foyer, reception area, feels really nice. You walk to the elevator, through the hallway, you're feeling good about, like, you're really enjoying walking through here. You could feel the difference between one building, and it's right next door, right to the other one. You go into the actual unit, it's nice as far as quality goes. Could have the similar layout, similar square footage, but the quality of materials, the craftsmanship of the way things put together. You're not seeing the cracks in the caulking there around the windows, or the baseboards. The joints are all nice and clear. There's no cracks in the joint. Like, just little things stand out. You don't have to be an expert renovator to get that feeling that one's quality is far superior to the other quality. And you may think, so what? That's life, One building is better built than the other building. And you'd be right in saying that. And you'd also be right in thinking, well, they should be at different price points. And they were. The lesser quality was at a lower price point than the higher quality. But the crazy part is, when I do the research and I look back to when these were first purchased pre-construction, they were purchased at basically the same price. Very little difference. So think about that. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when you went to the showroom of one, the pre-construction sale, versus the other, what were you told? What did you see? It's kind of the same thing, isn't it? You see floor plans. Can you make out quality by looking at floor plans? Absolutely not. So you speak to the salespeople that are there. And their presentation, did they ever say, oh, by the way, we're going to build this with slightly lesser workmanship and we're going to use the more inexpensive materials? They never tell you that. They brag about how awesome it's going to be, how the quality of materials is superior, how they hire nothing but the trades that have the best craftsmanship out there, and they're sold at the same price. But somehow, along the way, one builder tends to deliver on their promise of quality, and you feel good about when you get your keys. It's like, yeah, this is what I paid for. And the other builder does not deliver on their promise and really is looking to maximize profit on that one sale. And although they give you what they told you they're going to give you, the quality is not the same, and you feel like, this is what I bought? And it's only really, really evident in the resale market, because the buyer is not going to pay. In the example I started with, the buyer is not going to pay the same for similar condos. They will pay more for one, lesser for the other. And this is why I say condo sellers have double the problem, some of these condo sellers. If you're selling a condo right now, the market, just the way the condo market is now, already is an obstacle. But if you're one of these sellers that purchased one of these lower quality, bad craftsmanship type of units, your problems are compounded because of that. But remember, you purchased at the same price as the higher quality, but it's only now where the higher quality, yeah, it's come down, but yours has come down more because the final product is not as good. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, I have your condo numbers. We're going to be focused on data for condos across the city of Toronto, across York region, and across Peel region. Here's a quick summary of average sold prices going back for 3 months. Toronto, York region, Peel region. Let's start off with the city of Toronto. These are for condo apartments only. The data does not include condo townhouses. For week ending January 15th, 111 condo apartments were sold across the city of Toronto. 10 of those were at $1 million or more. Sales are increasing, which is normal at this time of the year. We saw it last year also. We saw it the year before that, and the year before that. Look, we're coming out of the holiday season. We do expect sales to be increasing now. But because it's only the second full week of the new year, don't take some of these, especially average sold prices, months of inventory. Let's not put too much emphasis on those numbers just because we're not fully into the whole real estate market cycle right now. So 111 were sold. 10 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price jumped way up from the previous week to $693,000. And I drew a line across 693 around 700,000. Kind of seems an average when I look at it. It's kind of average as far as what condos average sell price has been going back all the way to the beginning of fall. It's just kind of seems in the middle there. 693 is 3% higher from where we were this time a year ago. The median price is slightly higher, but it rounds to a 0% change, but it is slightly higher. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. I do have 3 months on the board here. Both average price and median price seem to have been trending down over the last 3 months or so. But you should be aware of November, December, prices in all real estate seem to be every year get a bit softer at this time of year. 111 were sold, 20% sold at list price or more. So 22 of those sold at list price or more. Listings increased from 695 to 768. Active listings, the amount of condos available for sale that remain unsold at the end of the week, higher at 3,842. Months of inventory, yes, it's lower from the previous week, but it's still way up there. From 8.9, it came down to 8 months of inventory. There's lots of stock out there, lots of properties to choose from. This so far has been for the city of Toronto, the whole city as average. Here's the city broken down into 9 different sections, and we look at basically some of these neighborhoods here. So Scarborough had 20 condos that were sold, but there's 424 active listings. 20 sold out of 424. This is just for the week ending January 15th. Looking at some of these other areas, Rexdale, Downsview, 3 sold out of 120. Etobicoke, 12 sold out of 396. Uptown, 20 sold out of 474. Midtown, 11 sold out of 441. Think of those numbers. Like, there's lots for sale. There's 400, 500 for sale. 15 are selling. 20 are selling. Downtown, 25 sold. So you think, wow, that's better than a lot of the areas there. Yeah, 25, as far as the way I've broken the areas down, is the largest sales for a particular area. 25 condos sold. But there's 1,433 available for sale. That's not so great. 1,433 and only 25 sold. York Region condos. Sales actually went down. We don't see that so often this year when we kind of look at last year. Yeah, up and down. York Region, maybe that's normal for York Region. I normally would expect sales to be increasing at this time. 22 condo apartments sold. None of them sold at list price or more. Average sold price came way down to $626,626, is 4% lower than where the average price was this time a year ago. The median price of $598 is 3% lower year over year. The 22 that sold, 23%. So 5 sold at list price or more. Listings, a little bit higher. 132 condos were listed. Active listings is starting to climb. And months of inventory, a bit higher than the previous week to 6.7 months of inventory. Average days on market, the previous week was 66. The previous week was 54. We're 58 right now, average days on market. Peel Region condos. So this is all for Peel Region. The majority of these condos are being bought and sold in Mississauga. 26 condos were sold. Average sold price is $555,555 is 2% lower than this time a year ago. The median price is 4% lower. Median price is $533,000. 26 were sold. 19% sold at list price or more. Listings up from 127 to 156 condos were listed. Active listings is starting to climb. Months of inventory down from the previous week. Still high, sitting at 6.4 months of inventory. Average days on market, 53. Here's a summary of months of inventory. It's pretty clear. And it's been like this for most of last year. Condos, pretty much a buyer's market. Yeah, there's situations where people are going to compete for certain condos and prices are very much building specific. But if we look at the market as a whole, it's pretty much a buyer's market when it comes to condos. Sellers, there's lots of competition out there for you. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.